Governor Biodun Oyebanji of Ekiti State has attributed Nigeria's security challenges to intelligence failures. Speaking at a forum organized by the Nigeria Police Force on school security in Ekiti State, Oyebanji highlighted the importance of proactive measures, such as anticipating threats, rather than solely reacting to incidents. The Schools Protection Squad, SPS, an initiative aimed at safeguarding educational institutions across the state, was set up by the governor, represented by Brigadier General Ebenezer Ogun Dana, retired. Oyebanji emphasized collaboration between the government, police, and education officials to secure high-risk schools, including boarding schools and federal colleges. The new squad will patrol these areas to prevent attacks. National Coordinator of SPS, CP Larry Ogulowo, described the initiative as a strategic effort by the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun, to create a secure learning environment. Ekiti State Commissioner of Police, Akinwale Adenira, praised the program selection of Ekiti as its starting point in the southwest, marking a significant step towards the safety of students and educators. So basically a different security personnel and agency has been set up to protect some high-profile schools, and it helps to curb insecurity in the state of Ekiti. What do you think about this new development?
It is a welcome development. Security is the business of everyone. But from the reports, we can see what they're talking about: proactive measures in intelligence gathering to safeguard and secure Nigerians. But we've heard so much about proactive measures and intelligence gathering. I think we should walk the talk. We cannot police every school in this country. We don't have the resources to do that. Or even if we do, there are many security flashpoints and many red lines and many security threats that Nigeria is facing today. So we're just talking about the schools. We cannot police every school in Nigeria. You cannot police every community, every university, every institution, but you can train the people, you can sensitize the people, you can educate the people with the right training and security information. There should be trainings in secondary schools where young people should be taught. Security education is a subject in schools, but it's not so much, there's not so much of absorption. There's not so much, it's not really absorbed in our educational system. We need to take security to the grassroots. We need to take security beyond the classrooms. We need to teach and train our students basic security information. You might be walking on a lonely road path in the night, for example. You might not have a policeman or a security by your side. But with the right security knowledge, you can take some steps that can even save your life. There are life-saving decisions you can make when faced with such problems. That does not take away the importance of police or security. So when we look at the security sector, or revamping or rebuilding or remolding or reshaping our security architecture, we need to look at measures that can help us promote security at the neighborhood level. We've heard so much about neighborhood security watchdog, neighborhood security force. We need to develop our neighborhood security network, because crime, crime is like a river that is flowing. Let me use that as an illustration of crime. Okay. It's like a river that is flowing. It's not just one spot. So if we can build a neighborhood security network right at the grassroots level, we can curtail and reduce and minimize the high level of insecurity in Nigeria. Then also, I would like to quickly say that you can't police the hearts of people, but you can provide physical police stations and policemen. We need to look at our conscience, and we need to look at our values in our society. Many people that are choosing criminality today, many of them were not born criminals.
Facts.
They were influenced into criminality. They were influenced into crimes, either by poverty or poor economic situations, poor standard of living. That does not justify their criminality or their criminal acts. So let us address social injustice. And also, we are talking about education, and education is not just teaching students how to read and write. It has to affect our mindset, our mentality. It has to stretch our mind. Education must reform us. Education must revive us. Education must challenge us to be better than where we were.
So basically what you're saying is, apart from them providing security personnel to protect the schools, there should be education, security education to the pupils and to every other person that is involved.
Exactly, and that security education will start from the home, right? It should start from the home. As a parent, when you look at your daughter, when you see your daughter going out in the night, hanging around with strangers, you should sit her down and talk to her. You should tell her that it is not safe for you to go to some certain places. Security education should begin in our homes. We must see it as an essential form of education. We must see it as an essential aspect of education. Because if we don't train our young people to be security literates, to be security informed, we will continue to have more casualties. So I think we have a lot we can do, but let us start educating young people right in our houses, in our homes, in our families. And let us strengthen our neighborhood security network.
So this has just been launched in Ekiti State, the School Protection Squad. Do you think it is something that other states could emulate to make, seeing as there's been previous cases of students being abducted from school and not brought back by gunmen and some other miscreants, do you think it's something that other states, including River State as well, could adopt?
Yes, I think it's a beautiful project that every state in Nigeria should adopt.
What are the flaws in this, if there are any?
There could be mismanagement, like many things, many projects in Nigeria that have been experimented in the laboratory of bad leadership and turned up to be poor specimens. It could be mismanagement. It's one of the biggest threats to this project. A lot of people try to, they use projects like this as a vehicle for their own self and wealth accumulation. And they're interested in their pockets than providing the products of good leadership in the society. And many secondary schools, education is being threatened today in Nigeria. There are many dark forces and dark elements and people that don't want to see education. Because, you know, education is a life. When you bring education to a society, you bring that light to the society. So education is a light. And so if we want to light up Nigeria, we need to promote education. We need to ensure that education is deeply rooted in our society.
We've seen previous cases where a lot of this hearsay, this news, these headlines make the news, and they are funded, because this will obviously be funded. The School Protection Squad will be funded by the government to some certain persons. Do you think it is something that would actually be seen through, or would it just be hearsay to embezzle lots of funds as has been before? Finally, before we move on to the next story.
That depends on the government. Where there is a will, there is a way. If they have the political will to ensure that the security program is a success, they have to follow it up. They have to be monitoring. There have to be evaluation. There have to be checks and balances. They have to have some introspection on where they were before. Where are we now? Where are we going to? One of my favorite quotes on education that I wrote is that no man sees beyond the height of his knowledge. So if we can see the picture of a society where young people are not threatened to go to school, they are not living in fear, they have the confidence, the ability, they have the confidence to learn because they are not threatened by kidnappers or people who come in to kidnap them and burn down school buildings and libraries. These are forces that are fighting against the development of our country. You can't be in between. You are either standing for education, you are either for education or against education.
Well